Good morning and welcome to today's assembly. Now today I would like to tell you about a story that happened in the Old Testament in the Bible. That's before Jesus was born, when God was looking after the people called the Israelites. And at this point in the story, the Israelites had all been captive in Egypt. They were slaves in Egypt and God had freed them and they were following Moses through the desert. So it's just a big group of people who all know each other and they're wandering through the desert. And these people were grumbling. They loved to grumble and they would grumble about all sorts of things. But one day they had a reason to grumble. Because as they were going through the desert, they set up their tents and they made a camp to stay overnight somewhere. And do you know what came into their camp? Now if you're at Wesley School you might know what this is. Some snakes! Some snakes came creeping into their camp. And these snakes were poisonous snakes and every so often they'd bite somebody and do you know what would happen? The people would die from the poison from the snakes. Oh no! So then they really started grumbling. They went to their leader whose name was Moses and they said, Moses! Moses, you have to help us! The snakes keep slithering into our camp. And when they bite us, we die, we get poisoned and we die. So Moses went to talk to God for the people. And he said, God, we need your help. All of these snakes keep coming into our camp and they bite the people and the people are dying. What should I do? And God replied to Moses and he said, Moses, I want you to make a special big metal snake, one made out of bronze, and I want you to put it really high on a big pole so that everybody in the camp can see it. And when the snakes come into the camp, if anybody gets bitten by a snake, all they have to do is to look up at that metal snake on the pole and they'll be better. So Moses did what God said. He went and he got lots of metal and he melted it and he made a big metal snake and he put it really high on a big pole so that everybody in the camp could see it. And then when the snakes came slithering in, if anybody was bitten, they'd go, ah, 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 and they'd look up at the snake on the pole and they'd be better and they'd be cured. Now do you know what? There were some people in the camp and when they got bitten by a snake they said, I'm not going to look at the pole, that can't help me. And they stayed in their tents. And do you know what happened to them? They died because they didn't trust the big snake on the pole. But other people did trust it and when they looked, they got better. And so the Israelites were saved from all of the snakes because they soon learnt to trust the snake up on the pole, that when they looked at it, they would be free from the poison of the snakes that had got into their camp. Isn't that a crazy story? I quite like snakes because we don't have many poisonous snakes in Britain, so usually they're quite friendly here, and I do like going and seeing them. But the reason I wanted to tell you this story is because Jesus said something a bit funny. When he was talking to Nicodemus, one of the teachers, late at night and trying to explain things about God, he said to Nicodemus, I want you and everybody else to trust in me just like the Israelites had to trust in the snake on the pole that Moses put up. And what Jesus meant by that is not that he was going to save us from snake bites, but that he was going to save us from all of the bad things that are in our lives. He said, if when I die on the cross, if you look at me and you trust in me, then you can be saved from all of the bad things in your life. And that's what Christians believe. They think that when they do wrong things, they can say sorry to Jesus and he can forgive them and he can make it okay with God so they can be friends with God. And that's what happens at Easter. That's why Christians really like Easter time, because it's a time to remember the time that Jesus was nailed to that cross for them and for us, because I'm a Christian, and they can remember Jesus on the cross and they can trust him to save them. And it got me wondering, I wonder who you trust. I wonder if there are many people that you trust. There are some people that we can all trust, aren't there? We can trust our doctors and our nurses to help us when we feel sick. We can trust our policemen to come and help us when we're in trouble. We can trust our fire engines to come and save us when there's a fire. We can trust our teachers to come and teach us good things. We can trust our parents, our friends. Isn't it amazing that we're surrounded by people who we can trust? Let's say thank you to God. Now I'm going to say a prayer. You don't have to pray if you don't want to. I'll say a prayer, and if you want to join me, just say Amen at the end. And if you don't want to, then you can sit quietly and just listen, okay? Dear God, thank you for all of the people that you surround us with, people that we can trust, who are here to help us and to make our lives better. Amen. Amen. Okay, well, let's think about the fact that lots of people have trusted God all through history, and go back to our favourite song, All Through History You Were Faithful. Ready? Let's go.
Noah built the most enormous boat that kept the birds and animals afloat. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Noah lived his life for him. Moses led his people through the sea, taking them away from slavery. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Moses lived his life for him. Oh, thank you, that all through history you were faithful. Thank you, oh, thank you, that you are just the same when it comes to me. When it comes to me. Shepherd boy became a king. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and David lived his life for him. Daniel was inside a lion's den. God brought him to safety once again. The Lord was good, the Lord was strong, and Daniel lived his life for him. Oh, thank you, oh, thank you. Comes to me. Jesus died to take away our sin, so we could get to know our God again. The Lord is good, the Lord is strong, and we will live our lives for him. Oh.